Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for tuning back in for Mommy 101 episode 2. And yeah, let's go ahead and just get started because I know that you all, I'm gonna try and bring this closer. Okay, I know that y'all seen the title. I know you've seen the thumbnail, and you're all probably like, whoa, this is going to be deep, and obviously it is. And I wanted to just get this topic out the way because I don't want to procrastinate talking about it because I know that eventually I wanted to talk about it and I wanted to get it out there, but yeah, and I'm trying my best not to get choked up now just thinking about it. But I know at some point during this video, the tears are going to flow, and I'm trying my best to hold them back. And I'm not going to lie, this video will probably be a little more lengthy than I want it to. But I'm going to try and get through it as fast as I can. But you've seen the title, and you obviously know that during this video, I'm going to talk about dealing with grief during pregnancy. I don't know why I said pregnancy so heavily, but dealing with grief during pregnancy, and more specifically, dealing with my brother's murder. And I can't fix myself to say his death or him passing away because he was murdered. And I can't just say passed away because it wasn't something that just happened organically. He wasn't sick. He wasn't old. He was, I mean, you know. I'm honestly just going to go from point A to point Z with my grief. And so I'm going to give you detail. This is the first time that I am talking about this ever. It's probably about the first time that anyone in my family is actually telling the full story. God, oh my God. And I'm going to do this video. I'm not going to edit this video because I want you guys to get the real, you know. I want to help someone else if I can, who may be dealing with it. So yeah, I'm not, but stay tuned to the end of the video to see a special tribute to my brother, so you guys can all get a glimpse of who he was. He was only 20. So March 20th 2021, which in 2 days it will make 3 months. This is 2 days after my birthday. We my husband, myself, and Prince, we actually were out and we went to get an ultrasound, a 3D ultrasound of Paxton, and we didn't get anything because Paxton was being so stubborn, so we rescheduled to come back. We went to the soul food spot. We got some food down in Houston, and we drove back to where we live in Baytown. And we drove back to where we live in Baytown and came home. We're eating our food. My brother calls me. My brother Terrence calls me, and he is my brother immediately under me. So he's my younger brother, but he's the youngest brother. And he asked me if I can watch the kids for today, watch his son Jason and Jahkeese's daughter Violet. I told him I couldn't watch them because I had plans. And I did have plans. I was supposed to do my maternity shoot. At this point, I am 7.5 months pregnant and exhausted. But I was getting ready for the baby shower, which was going to be 2 weeks following. And yeah. So, I told him I couldn't because I was doing stuff that day. He says, okay. We get home, I'm eating, and after we eat, I said, okay, I need to go. I get in the car because I'm on my way to go to my maternity shoot. I leave Prince with my husband, his father, and as I'm in the car on my way to my maternity shoot, I'm literally maybe 5 minutes from there when I get a call from my mom, and she says, are you with Portier, which is my husband's name? And I said, no, I'm on my way to my maternity shoot. He's at home with Prince. And she says, okay, but the urgency in her voice let me know something's wrong. And I says, why, what's wrong? And she says, Terrence has been shot. Again, Terrence is the oldest, youngest brother right underneath me. Terrence has been shot. And I said, what? And she says, yeah, okay, I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna call Portier. So she hangs up, she calls my husband. I immediately turned my car around without thinking, and I hit 90. I hit 90 driving to my brother's apartment. They share an apartment. And then I called my husband. He called me, and he says, hey, where are you at? I said, I'm on my way to my brother's. He had talked to my mom. Prince's car seat was in my car, so he was seeing if I was coming back. So he said, just F it. And so he just puts Prince in the car with him because my brothers only stayed about 5 minutes from where we are. And I was maybe about 10 or 15 minutes away going to my maternity shoot. So I hang up from him. I call my mom back, and I said, Mom, what's going on? She says, call an ambulance, send them over there to their apartment. I said, Mom, what's going on? She says, okay. She says, I think my son is dead. And I said, Mom, what are you talking about? Mind you, I'm driving, and I'm on the freeway at this point. I'm literally hitting about 95 at this point. And she says, I think my son is dead. I think Jahkeese is dead. And I said, wait, you didn't say anything about Jahkeese. She said, Terrence. She says, I said, no. She says, I know, just call the ambulance. I hang up. At this point, I'm hitting about 120, and I'm about to make the exit. God, I'm about to make the exit on the highway to get to my brother's apartment. And I see an ambulance come behind me. I was on the phone with the police station. They said the ambulance was already called. I see one behind me, and I knew that if they were to get in front of me, I wasn't going to be able to get over there. So I drive faster. I hit the turn to get to their apartment, and I see these cops lined up. I pull into the apartment, and I see ambulances. I see cops. I see my husband immediately in front of me. He pulled in right when I pulled in. Oh my God, please keep it together, Paige. As I pull in, they have it taped off. I don't see anything. I tell my husband, I think my brother's dead. My mom thinks my brother is dead. He said, okay, calm down, think positive. My first thought is to go to the cops and ask about the children. I said, where's my niece and my nephew? They said, we don't know anything about the kids, blah, blah, blah. I said, my niece and my nephew, a little black boy, little white girl. I need to know where they are. Jason and Violet. Jason is 3, Violet is 2. I need to know where they are. They go to the apartment because their apartment is like is a building over, and we're like in the parking lot. They find the kids. They bring me the kids. The cop is asking me questions. And I'm just telling them where my brothers. They said, we have one in an ambulance now. We don't know anything about anyone else. We know someone else was hit. We don't know anything about anyone else. I said, please just tell me the truth. Please just tell me the truth. Please just tell me if my brother is dead. And they kept saying, their face already told me that, God, I can't do this. Okay, you can do this. You can do this. Okay. Their faces already told me that. Oh, God, I can't do this. Okay. Their faces had already told me that something was wrong, but they kept saying, we don't know anything right now. We don't know anything right now. I see Terrence on a stretcher. He comes out, and I don't know if I said this or not, but mind you, I had the kids. They did a chain of custody with the kids and took down all my information to make sure that I was family, and so they gave me the kids. I put them in a car with my husband and Prince, and at this point it's like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. It's hot as hell. And all I can think of is please just tell me something. A helicopter comes down. I see Terrence come out. I see blood. I see bullet holes in his arm. But he's awoke. He's responsive. And I see him. I say, Terrence, hi, I love you. Because I don't tell my siblings enough that I love them. And so the first thing I say is, Terrence, are you okay? I love you. And he waves at me. He tells me okay because it's really loud. They put him in the helicopter. And I tell my husband, I said, something's not right. Something's not right. There's only one helicopter. And they just took Terrence in it. And so all these ambulances here. Something's not right. The cops didn't tell me anything. It was about 3 ambulances there. They start to back the ambulances out. And they start to back the ambulances out. Excuse me, guys, I'm cold. They start to back the ambulances out, and I said, why are you guys backing the ambulances out and there's nobody in these? Where is Jahkeese? Please. The last ambulance backs out. And it's a trash can right there. And I asked the cop, I said, why are these ambulances backing out and my brother's nowhere to be found? And I hear my husband say, oh shit. I turn, and it seemed like I was moving in slow motion, but I turned back and lean over to get out of the view of the trash can. Oh God. I lean over to get out of the view of the trash can. And I see Jahkeese. I see Jahkeese. I see him lying on the ground. His shirt is up. His head is up. His hands are up his head. And his blood everywhere. Pull it together, Paige. Pull it together. Okay. It's blood. I see my baby brother laying in a pool of his own blood. I later find out that he passed away. He died before anybody got there, before an ambulance got there, before anyone could help him. He was already gone, and the cops just wasn't trying to tell me. I screamed. All I could do was scream. I said, no, God, you've got to be kidding me. And I just screamed, no, 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 no. And I fell to the floor, 7.5 months pregnant. Oh, God. 7.5 months pregnant. I screamed. And I just kept saying no. And I felt. And I just sat there and looked at my brother lying there. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. I had a panic attack. My mom hadn't pulled up yet. And I left my phone in my car, which was still running. I didn't think to. It was like it was straight out of a movie. It didn't feel real. it was just, I just sat there and I looked at him and I said, God, no. It just felt like a movie, like you're watching a scene out of Law and Order, and then they bring in all these cops and detectives, and I finally get a hold of my mom, and come to find out my mom was on the other side, it was of the parking lot, and she actually saw him too, and she left thinking that I left and went home because I didn't answer my phone because I didn't have it. I called her and told her I was still there. She came back, and all we can do was embrace each other and cry. And I called Terrence to check on him because in the midst of all this, I needed to make sure he was okay, because he could have very much well been gone too. And I called Terrence, and he's at the hospital, and he answers, and there's blood all over him. He has 4 holes in his body, and he breaks down crying. And the first thing I said, I'm so sorry, I love you so much. And he just kept saying he loved me. And keep it together, babe, keep it together. He just kept saying how he loved me, and I told him just take some time to heal, listen to the doctors, you know. So we got off the phone, and me and my mom, my husband, my mom's fiance, and my mom's best friend, we stayed out there for about 5 hours looking at the detectives come and go, take pictures. There are all these nosy people coming out, and you just never realize how hurtful that is until you're in the situation of people coming out asking what happened. And then there's people who came and asked us, seeing us crying and grieving, what happened. Like, you see people crying, then obviously you know that they're close to the situation. Why would you ask them? That's the most insensitive thing you can ever do. March 20th, 2021, our lives just was over, and we stayed there until they did all their detective work, and they came and picked up his body. And that feeling, I was seeing him again. That feeling, I was seeing him carry him, like, until you actually see your loved one lying in a pool of their own blood. And mind you, I got his daughter. She was with me, and I could always look at her and tell her how sorry I was, and tell her how sorry I am. I am so sorry, because now she has to grow up without a father, and to this day she has tantrums and fits, and she asks for her daddy because of 4 cowards who took my brother. He wasn't into gangbanging. He wasn't into drugs. He did not do anything. He was such a good, he literally was innocent in all of it. They only arrested 1 person and charged 1 person because the other 3 decided to flip on him for a deal, and they won't serve no time. And I would post those cowardly bitches' faces on here, but I don't want YouTube to take my video down because I really would like for this to help someone. And he admitted to what he did eventually, to shooting both of my brothers with hollow point bullets. And he said Jahkeese wasn't the target, Terrence was. But he feels so bad for shooting. And they were set up by their best friend. And we had Jahkeese's funeral, April 10th, and all of my family came out. Jahkeese wasn't all about his music. All he did was make music. So the songs that you hear in the beginning and end of my intro and my outro, that's his song. And you can find his music at Jahkeese on all platforms. Jahkeese, his music is on all platforms. Please, by all means, support his music because you support his daughter. The justice for Jahkeese, the pictures that you see, all that, that's him. And you'll see more of him at the tribute at the end of this video. And I'm sorry that this video ended up being so long, but I have to get this out. How did I deal with that grief while I was pregnant? I had to cry. I had to scream. For the first month, I could not sleep without my son laying on me, next to me. I had to have my baby near me. I went to the doctor because I was dealing with the grief. I wanted to make sure that the baby wasn't hurt. So I got an ultrasound to make sure that I wasn't messing him up. Literally 1 minute at a time is how you deal with grief when you are pregnant. And I was heavily pregnant. 1 minute at a time. I'm not even gonna say day at a time. It's literally, it can be second by second. It's literally minute by minute on how you deal with your grief and how you feel. Because one day you can be happy, you're fine, and then the next you're like sad, and I'm crying, and I'm like, I'm questioning God, and I'm questioning my own existence. Sometimes I want to pick up the phone and I want to call my brother, and I'm like, shit, I can't call him. And please excuse my cussing, but I can't call him. And the best way I can tell anybody who has to go through this when they are pregnant is to please talk about it to someone you trust, to talk about it, and don't talk about it when you don't want to. When people consistently ask you what happened, you have the right to tell them to mind their own dang business. You have that right, because you don't have to explain anything. And I haven't explained this at all to anybody, and I'm just now able to talk about it because I want to help someone else. My mom is starting a whole organization, and you can follow her Instagram, and I'm gonna put it right here at the end of the video and in the bio. Follow her because she's doing great things to get the word out about gun violence and to do things in my brother's honor, to help my niece as well. And we have to call her every day because she literally cries for her father, and all we can do is hold her and tell her it's okay, baby. I have to check on her mother because that was the love of her life, you know. So they didn't just kill one person, they killed an entire family. He leaves behind his only child, his only daughter. He leaves behind 2 nephews that he actually got to meet and one that he didn't. And he was so excited for Paxton, and he kept telling me, name that baby after me, name that baby after me. And he would always say that. I'm like, boy, go on somewhere. And literally the last conversation I had with him, he told me he loved me and to name my baby after him. And that's what I did. I named him Paxton Jahkeese Naw. And Jahkeese is obviously my brother's name, and that's where the baby gets his middle name from. And it sucks. All I can tell you, mommies, is to please don't try and hold it in thinking that you're protecting your baby. You're not. You're hurting your baby if you hold it in. If you need to cry, please cry. I'm not saying you have to cry to somebody, but cry. Even to yourself. Let it out. Cry. And then gather yourself and move on. Talk about it if you feel like talking about it. Don't if you don't. Scream, holler, pray or don't pray if you don't feel like it at that point. Like, I had to scream into pillows sometimes so that it wouldn't bother Prince. But I would scream, I would cry, I would holler, I would randomly just be depressed. And I allowed myself to do that so that I could heal. And I had to find comfort knowing that he's watching over me. And it's just, It sucks. But that's my story. This wasn't a typical mommy 101 video, and this will be about the only sad one. But I really wanted to get it out there because a lot of women have to deal with grief when they're pregnant, and you just have to let it go and let it out and just do what you do. Please stay tuned and see the tribute video I have for my brother at the end of this. And God, and feel free to please DM me, message me on my Instagram. You know, my Instagram handles, I will put it here. It's also in my bio. Please feel free to message me if you want to talk. Feel free to just give encouraging word if you want encouragement. Like, just, I'm here. I always respond for the most part. I try and get to everybody. And I will continue to be an advocate for stopping gun violence. And it's just, I don't even feel safe in my own home now because of this. Like, they didn't just murder my brother, they killed my entire family's spirit. And it sucks. Anyway, I'm so sorry this video ended up being 30 minutes long. I'm gonna go pump because my boobs hurt. Paxton's finna wake up. And please stop the violence. That's all I have to say for this video. Justice for Jahkeese. Please just keep saying that. Support my mother's businesses. And justice for Jahkeese. Long live Jahkeese.
Am I okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm finally noticing that I'm happy. Am I okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm finally noticing that I'm happy. Ooh, can choose if you wanna be with me forever. We can live like it's a dream whenever. Picking me's a win, you're clever. We go loud as one, a team together. She came and made my heart better. We're together until the end. Am I okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm finally noticing that I'm happy. Am I okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm finally noticing that I'm happy. If you wanna be with me forever, we can live like it's a dream whenever. Picking me's a win, you're clever. We roll out